Odds are good that you will read more books and articles during this program than you are used to. What's more, these books and articles will be different from the fiction, non-fiction, magazine pieces, and blogs you may be accustomed to reading. This kind of everyday reading is more casual. We read for entertainment or to be informed. We are told a story. We are told, say, if we're reading a news or magazine article, we're told what happened. These are one-way sort of exchanges, and we tend to read these materials linearly, or from cover to cover, as the expression goes. Everyday reading like this has also been described as passive, whereas active reading is more purposeful. It's critical and interrogative, and the research literature expects this from their readers. In this sense, the writing can seem more like a dialogue, engaging you as a reader to question and argue with their ideas. It is also aware of the research which came before it, providing references to earlier scholarship to help us understand what brought us here. Active reading tends to go beyond reading to summarize what happened to reading into what has been communicated. And we bring reflection and critique to that. Now, given the life and times of a busy student, active reading takes different forms. And those forms reflect specific purposes and how much time you have. Overview reading is kind of exactly how you probably imagined. It's quick, taking 3 to 5 minutes per article or book chapter, and you're reading into the text to determine if it's worth a closer read. A good practice is to transform the title of the article into a question. This helps us set expectations for what the article intends to tell us and whether or not the answer is of interest to us. The second type of active reading is for getting the gist, or a basic familiarity of the content of the text, a common practice for trying to learn more about an unfamiliar topic, or to manage reading dozens of articles a week for a class. It extends beyond that first exercise of converting the title of the article into a question and explores how the authors attempt to answer that question. In this phase of active reading, you will probably take notes on the research literature to identify new concepts and how they are defined. You will also attempt to summarize key points of the article and how it relates to your own interests or themes already discussed in class. The third type, critical and analytical reading, is the most reflective, where you will intentionally add your knowledge and experience in response to what you have read. And it is likely you will read an article more than once to thoroughly examine its contents. So now that we've gone through the 3 types of active reading, overview, getting the gist, and critical and analytical reading, let's go over a tool that may help make the process more manageable. PQRST stands for Preview, Question, Read, Summarize, and Test. And all these steps appear in aspects of overview, getting the gist, and critical and analytical reading. With preview, we skim the text, paying attention to how the text is organized by its titles, subtitles. With question, we identify what question the text is attempting to answer. The most direct way to identify this question, as we have already mentioned, is to convert the title of the text into a question, but there may be more statements within the text you may want to examine. With read, well, we read at our usual pace, usually looking for details that will help us arrive at the answer we expect to find. With summarize, we translate what we have read into a form we understand and communicates the main ideas found in the text. This is central to getting the gist reading, but we can also add our reflections here for more critical and analytical reading as well. With test, we revisit the initial questions posed and attempt to answer them in our own words. This is also where we test the text itself for how well it communicated its processes and findings. Active reading takes practice, but in time, you'll develop greater focus and speed in reading and reflection.